Amy Schumer. There was a time in her career when she was considered the world's most celebrated comedian, filling arenas and starring in blockbuster comedies. Yet, inexplicably, in just a few short years, she single-handedly destroyed it all. Her controversial and problematic actions exposed cracks in the image of a progressive, feminist woman she had painstakingly cultivated. Soon, her inflated ego and aversion to accountability began to surface. If we yell, I'll say I'm going to kick him out. Kick him out. Okay, so, everyone, point fingers at the booers. This transformed her from a respectable comedian into one of the most hated artists of the modern era in an instant. And that's our extreme animosity toward Amy Schumer. God bless. Amy Schumer is like a collective evil that binds the world together. Hi everyone, I'm Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we're going to delve into Amy Schumer's self-destructive downfall. How she built a massive audience of millions with her bold, fearless humor, only to betray that very audience through hypocrisy and ego. And most importantly, how all of this could have been avoided if Amy had just learned to let go of her arrogance and stop playing the victim whenever she faced criticism. However, the only call I care about is to subscribe to the channel. So hit that subscribe button and let's get the video started. Amy Schumer. Before everything fell apart, she was just an aspiring artist trying to make her mark. She actually started as a stage actress, but by 2004, she had transitioned to stand-up comedy, performing regularly at New York comedy clubs, including the iconic Gotham Comedy Club. Her first real breakthrough came in 2007, when she appeared on the comedy version of American Idol called Last Comic Standing, where she made it all the way to the finals. This was her first time reaching a national audience. Although she only finished fourth on the show, her confidence and sharp wit impressed viewers, earning her regular appearances on Comedy Central. Over the next few years, she gradually made a name for herself on the comedy scene by guest appearing on various talk shows. Hi, just a hello. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. That was pretty bad word choice on his part. I don't think so. I don't mind the terminology at all. And she even landed a supporting role in HBO's Girls. But Amy really exploded into the mainstream in September 2011 when she appeared on Comedy Central's roast of Charlie Sheen. No, I mean Charlie, you have a bad reputation. But you're just like Bruce Willis. You know, you were huge in the 80s, and now your old place is being filled by Ashton Kutcher. Even though she was a relatively unknown comedian at the time, her bold and dark performance, delivered without a hint of remorse, completely stole the show, becoming the highlight of the episode and garnering over 10 million views on YouTube alone. Capitalizing on this new wave of fame, she released her debut stand-up comedy album that same year, followed by a special on Comedy Central in 2012. The success of both projects led to her own television show, Inside Amy Schumer, in 2013, which became an instant hit, achieving an 80% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Her bold and unfiltered comedic style quickly made a difference. I saw a guy who was completely drunk walking toward me like a zombie and pointing to his private parts like, "It's right here." I was like, "I'll call a taxi for us." She frequently tackled taboo topics like sexism, body image, and gender roles with a confidence few comedians could match at the time. And what about putting that rejection aside for now? I know we've been through this, and I know we have a daughter, okay? I know that, and I love her. But I'm so tired. I don't know why, but I really feel that way. And this fearless approach has made her a prominent voice and established her position as a feminist icon in the industry. Please leave your comments about Amy Schumer below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to support me. Amy Schumer. Before everything fell apart, she was just an aspiring artist, trying to make her mark. She actually started as a stage actress, but by 2004, she had transitioned to stand-up comedy, performing regularly at New York comedy clubs, including the iconic Gotham Comedy Club. Her first real breakthrough came in 2007, when she appeared on the comedy version of American Idol called Last Comic Standing, where she made it all the way to the finals. This was her first time reaching a national audience. Although she only finished fourth on the show, her confidence and sharp wit impressed viewers, earning her regular appearances on Comedy Central. Amy Schumer. By 2015, she had reached the peak of her career with her big Hollywood debut as both screenwriter and lead actress in Trainwreck. The film became a massive box office hit, turning her into a mainstream star and officially making her the world's highest-paid female comedian. But just as Amy reached the height of fame, cracks began to appear in her meticulously crafted public image. And the very boldness that had made her a star was about to become the reason for her downfall. That same year, The Guardian published an article titled Amy Schumer, the Viral Queen of Comedy. While much of the article celebrated her meteoric rise and comedic success, it also highlighted something many fans had overlooked until then: her deeply racist remarks, which went far beyond mere jokes. However, the same couldn't have happened with her next controversy, which began on January 19, 2016, when comedian Wendy Liebman tweeted accusing Amy Schumer of plagiarizing one of her jokes, saying, "Between Amy Schumer doing one of my best jokes on an HBO special and this meme of my joke, I'm done with social media." She also attached a clip of the joke she was referring to. "Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I like men paying for sex. I mean, I'm a good person. I swear to you. Like, I'm very traditional. I think men should always pay on the first date for sex." And while many fans initially spoke up in Amy's defense, calling it a coincidence, the undeniable similarity between the two jokes quickly sparked online debate. Things got even worse for Amy when shortly afterward, another comedian named Kathleen Madigan also spoke out, implying that she had stolen material from her. And within hours of these accusations, a viral compilation video began circulating online, providing concrete evidence of how much Amy had stolen from her colleagues, including Madigan. So, I understand why the poor are fat. But Oprah, you're a billionaire. You have enough money to hire someone to stand there and slap you in the hand before you even put food in your mouth. Chef slap. Chef slap? What is that? It's a new weight loss program that eliminates the need for self-determination. How does it work? First, one of Slap Chef's world-class chefs cooks you a signature dish. Then, before you can say Slap Chef, they shove it out of your silly mouth. Tammy Pescatelli. That's right. That's why, men, if we love you, we'll dress you up for other women too. That's why we dress you up in those silly outfits, because we want another woman to look at him and say, "He's cute, but I can't fix all this." You dress him up like that so no one else wants him. Great. And Patrice O'Neal, you have a gorilla mask. A gorilla mask. That's you. You show up, right? And then you take some pubic hair and throw it at him. There's also the Abraham Lincoln style. That's when the man shaves his hair onto the girl's face and throws it so she has that beard. Please leave your comments about Amy Schumer below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to support me. Amy Schumer. When placed side by side, these jokes seem almost identical, and too similar to be considered a pure coincidence. As the wave of outrage intensified, Amy appeared on Jim Norton's advice show to defend herself. "I'm accused of stealing jokes, and I want to come here to talk to you guys about it, to clear my name, because I would never do that, and I never did." She claimed she had never seen the work of the comedians she was accused of copying. "Kathleen is a great comedian. I've never seen a special of hers. I've never heard her perform that joke. I didn't know Wendy until I was older. I would never have seen her performance in the 90s, but I loved her. And she even suggested that these female comedians were simply jealous of her success. I don't think it's personal. I think it's just hard to see someone doing well, and maybe maybe Tammy envisioned a different life for herself and a different outcome, and so when she saw someone succeeding, this is one of, if not the worst, responses she could have given in this situation. Even a straightforward admission of plagiarism would have been less damaging to her reputation. And as you can imagine, most people didn't believe a word she said. The video evidence was crystal clear, and her defensive tone only made things worse, with comments like, "Hearing this makes me uncomfortable." No doubt she stole those jokes. And, "Wow, now she's unbelievably arrogant." Many points in this interview are clearly lies. Tammy Pescatelli also criticized her hypocrisy more directly, saying, "What always amazes me is that she claims to be a feminist but just goes around stealing from other female comedians. If we speak up, we're seen as jealous or being humiliated professionally. We just want you to do well. Just do it with your own evidence." Following this setback, Amy's once untouchable reputation now bears a permanent stain, and her image as a feminist hero of comedy begins to crumble. As the mask begins to fall, people start revisiting Amy's old materials, and what they discover will mark the end of any remaining support for Amy. Like in 2014, when Amy shared a personal story about an intimate encounter she had with a man named Matt while speaking at the Gloria Awards and Gala, saying, "His face was a little distorted, and his eyes seemed unable to focus on me. He was really trying to look at me from the side. He was terribly drunk." She then went on to describe the experience in detail, emphasizing how drunk he was throughout. At the time, she told the story as part of an inspirational speech about finding self-esteem and confidence. But when people revisited it years later, they saw it from a very different perspective. Many pointed out that the man she described was clearly too drunk to consent, and that what Amy portrayed as an awkward encounter actually sounded like something far more serious. With a post that read, "He wasn't in a position to consent, and he was clearly impaired by that description. She definitely assaulted him, so she took advantage of a drunk man. Doesn't she see a problem with that?" For years, Amy has publicly condemned sexual misconduct and positioned herself as a fervent supporter of the Me Too movement. So, hearing her publicly joke about a situation that exposed the very behavior she criticized feels not only offensive, but also disgustingly hypocritical. She was a very vocal supporter of the movement as it was gaining popularity, which means she's both racist and hypocritical. Unfortunately, this isn't the last time Amy Schumer shamelessly contradicts the very values she claims to represent. In fact, this hypocritical pattern can be traced throughout her career, including when Glamour magazine featured Amy on the cover of a plus-size special alongside Ashley Graham, Melissa McCarthy, and Adele. The issue was meant to celebrate stylish women of any size, but Amy had a major issue with being labeled plus size. She wrote that plus size is considered a size 16 in America. "I range between a size 6 and a size 8, and Glamour put me on a plus size issue without asking or informing me, and that felt wrong to me." She also implied it could negatively impact young girls, and while some viewers supported her, others felt the contradiction in her argument. If there's nothing wrong with being plus size, why would it be considered harmful to young girls? Being fat is beautiful. Don't call me fat, you fat bully. Even Ashley Graham, who was named alongside Amy in the magazine, criticized these inconsistencies. I can understand both sides, but Amy is always talking about being a big girl in this industry. You thrive because you're a big girl, but when you're grouped with us, you're not happy about it. That feels like a double standard to me. Although Amy later responded to Ashley's criticism, saying, I completely understand Ashley's feelings. I'm not grouped with her because she's incredibly beautiful. Her comment once again avoids any real responsibility. And this moment perfectly encapsulates a recurring motif in Amy's career. Please leave your comments about Amy Schumer below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to support me.